Hi, fellas. Today I want to talk about what it means to be a man in the modern era in the 21st century. Well, ever since uh, World War II, when women um, had to go to work to fill the void, the spaces that were left out by men who were going to war, nothing has ever been the same because women could go and work for themselves and provide for themselves, and they never looked back, which is not a bad thing. Um, But when men came back from the war, um, they never figured out what their role is in society. Women said, "Hey, we are able to provide for ourselves. What do you bring to the table?" Because what men knew at the time is, I go to work, I provide for my family. Woman stays at home, looks after the children, um, and the man provides all the necessities that for the children and for his woman. So it was pretty traditional. Simple and easy. You provide, and a woman respects you for the reason that you are able to provide, which is a necessity. I mean that it's these two people complement each other. But ever since the shift, we majority of men have been struggling to find their place in society, and I think this has backfired in many ways. Many men have dropped significantly in many um, positions of power and growth in society. They have lost respect. They have lost an identity of what it means to be a man in our modern times. It doesn't matter whether you are in South Africa, Europe, North America, and the United States. There's this globalization. There's a high rising number of divorces throughout the world. There's this sameness in attitudes and behaviors influenced by the digital technology that we have of this sameness that we see all over the world. The way the women behave and men behave, the attitudes of women and the society at large. So those are the kind of challenges that I'm trying to bring into your mind, to your attention, that we're facing a problem of men who are declining rapidly and who have been declining rapidly for a number of years. If you look at a number of men who drop out, even at the level of basic education, and the boys rather, who drop out at a basic level of education, girls are doing much better than boys. Even at the university level, young men dropping out, the their level of success is very low as compared to the level of success of women. And this is a consequence. Where are these boys going? They are turning into crime. They feel worthless. Um, they don't know what it means to be a man, and they do not show up as men in society. Some men will make it, and now they're in a level playing field with women, and women are asking, "What can you do better than you used to in the past? Because I can provide for myself. I don't need a man." That's why there was this I don't need a man, because women who were working, they were in the working space. And because all through the years, a man was known to provide, and a woman, a stay-home mom. I mean, there's nothing bad with the fact that women can provide for themselves. I think that's great. But look at um, the effects of the whole shift in dynamics, the consequences, which I believe were unintended. Those are the kind of problems. Here, I'm not giving solutions, but I'm enlightening you um, for this first episode of the challenges that we face as men in our modern times. So the question is, where do these young men go? They turn into crime. They'll develop this anger, um, and they turn into murderers, into thieves. They graduate into those kind of behaviors. They just become dangerous men. It's a cycle. These social ills that you see are committed by these boys who became men of violence, uneducated, who could not cope in evolving into the social institutions, schools, university, at a basic level, tertiary. And you find out that now these men will become fathers who are absent in raising their children, because women are saying, we can provide for us ourselves, we don't need you. You can provide the seed, but we don't need you. And even if a man now gets married, um, at times there's going to be a time where they separate with this woman. That's why we've been having high rates of divorces, not only in South Africa. I think in South Africa we have about 49% or 51% of divorce rates, if I'm not mistaken, approximately. That's me approximating. In the United States, it might be worse. Europe, in some parts of Europe, if you do your research, there's this sameness now. That's why I started by saying this globalization, the digital technology that we have, we're able to connect more easily, and the influences in social media and the way women expect men to be, and their notion of what it means to be a man. This notion of what do you bring to the table? Men are confused. I'm not giving out solutions here. I'm just enlightening you. It's an enlightenment of what we're facing at this point, at this stage. And that's the problem we're facing as men. So the problem is with these men is that they become rapists, murderers, and they commit all kinds of social ills. Absent fathers, and if you do a research has been done that most of these men who commit these atrocities did not have their fathers when they were growing up. Their fathers were absent. They should tell you a story. And that's a dynamic of being a man. Here's another point. You find men who were able to go through basic education, tertiary education. They made it in in the world of business or world of work. They were able to provide for their families, even if a woman was working. They were there. There comes a time of divorce. The laws changed, evolved, and they favored women. When it comes, when the time for divorce comes in, a man has to move out of the house. She probably makes a decision that she wants to end the marriage for whatever reason. We can never go there for now. And these children will grow up without their father, and maybe the time with their father will be limited, or it will just be cut off, or another man will come in. And let's be honest, most of other men will not father the children of that woman as the original father would have. So these are the kind of um, you know circumstances we find in situations in life that men um, have found themselves in. High levels of divorce resulting in absent fathers most of the times. Let's be honest about that. So that's why I'm asking, what does it mean to be a man in our modern time? It's something that we should explore and think about. It's become harder. So as a man, you should think more productively and more intelligently by looking at the social evolution and societal norms and developments that shapes the society of the opinions of society, depending on whether you are where you are in the world. Um, Mostly, it's influenced by the Western norms and beliefs. So I'm giving you food for thought, and that's what we're facing as men in our times, and it's almost the same in many countries all over the world, except for uh, specific countries who have not infused the Western ideologies into their legal systems and society as a whole. But largely, in many parts of the world, there's this sameness uh, influenced by globalization, infused by Western ideologies. I'm not saying the Western ideologies have brought everything negative. There are good things that were brought by the Western civilization, but there are some things that have brought their own difficulties. So, having you have something to think about, and we shall meet in the next discussion and episode.